Hello everyone. This is Tobi from the Phuket Meditation Center, and you're listening to the Dharana Meditation Podcast. Let's sit together, calm the busy mind, and explore topics concerning character development, meditative training, and deeper self-knowledge.
So let's sit upright, the head suspended from above. Body relaxed. Breathing comfortably. Forget all the things that you've heard about breathing. And simply breathe in a way that feels good. Sitting still. Let go of all kinds of fidgeting and moving around. Keep the body very calm. Just allow this moment yourself to be as it is. There's nothing to change, nothing to get rid of, nothing to build. Just sitting still, breathing comfortably, that's enough. Notice that each time when you breathe out, the body relaxes a tiny bit. Tension dissolves a little. Let the mind and the body gradually come together. In case you don't know what this means, it means that you feel your body, that you become aware of your body. Let consciousness saturate the body. Breathing in, feeling, and breathing out. Noticing how everything relaxes a bit. Also, it's perfectly normal that you would be super distracted. The mind is all over the place. That's totally fine. Every now and then, however, you will notice the body again. You will feel it again as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you notice how it softens a bit. You can think of one breath as one session of meditation. One of the very first things to train yourself in is to keep the body still, to not move, to not fidget. Learning not to react to every single impulse that comes up. Instead, the focus is on releasing, softening from within. So yes, you might be quite confronted by that, noticing just how nervous you are, just how much stress there is in the body. But that's where the training begins. Learning to relax, to release, to soften anyways. Just give it a bit of time. And the initial storm of the mind will begin to calm down. Naturally, because your body is kept calm and the attention is on the breath and on the releasing as you breathe out. So you gradually become a bit more comfortable in your own skin. And breathing in, feel your legs. Bring the mind into the legs. Breathing out, softening the legs. And we do that for a couple of times. Breathing in, feeling the belly. And breathing out, the belly become nice and soft. Each out breath, a bit more soft. Letting go of all this unnecessary stress and tension that is often stored in the body. Especially in the belly. Breathing in, feeling your heart, your chest. And breathing out, softening, releasing heart and chest. And breathing in, feeling your shoulders and arms. Breathing out, softening, releasing shoulders and arms. Of this nice wave of release. Go all the way through your arms down into your hands. Gradually letting go of all this unnecessary tension, stress, inner tightness. Normally in our day-to-day life, we express this tension, this tightness in our actions, constantly running away from ourselves, running away from our body, losing ourselves in activities and thoughts about the past and the future. So this might be quite an unusual thing to not run away, to not escape, but instead to allow and to find release within it, through it. And breathing in, feeling your head, the brain. Breathing out, softening, releasing the head. Breathing in, feeling the entire body. As if it is made out of breath. Breathing out, softening, releasing all this unnecessary tension that's still left. And gradually letting go of this inner tightness, the stress, the tension. I guarantee you, your mind, your intellect will lie. But the body does not lie. The body very clearly reveals to you whether you're happy or not, whether you're stressed or not. The mind may say something like, "Oh, I'm pretty happy, I'm enjoying my life," but the body is absolutely uncomfortable. That'd be a clear example of the mind lying, the body telling the truth. we just stay with this simplicity, breathing in, feeling the body, breathing out, softening. Let the mind saturate more and more into the body. Usually the mind is not at all in our bodies. It's very much in abstract ideas all the time, the future, the past, constantly in pursuit of something. So in the beginning it takes quite some practice to come back home and actually learn how to be comfortable with yourself. And while maintaining an awareness of your body, you can slowly come back, open your eyes, gently stretch a bit. Keeping mind and body together. One of the key points or key secrets of the practice is to keep it simple and to concentrate on one thing for long times. That's what I recommend. You don't want to be jumping around, buzzing around a lot, but really concentrate on one thing and develop it. Develop a skill. The way you can also measure your progress on the path, you can see whether things are getting better or not. So in the beginning, it's a good idea to just stick with what gives you the best kind of feedback. As I just said, in the guided meditation, is the mind lies. Mind is a liar. It tells you all kinds of things about yourself and the world, the way things are, what you think, your past, your future, this and that. And usually, if I were to ask you right now, are you happy? Are you at ease? You very likely answer, yeah, doing fine, I'm good. That'd be an example of the mind lying. Are you actually okay? How do I know? Well, pretty simple. Sit still. Stop escaping. Stop running away. Stop running away into ideas and visualizations and imagination and this and that. Stop running away. Be with yourself. Be with the truth. Be with what is. Understand that. And it will give you 100% accurate feedback. Are you stressed? Are you suffering? Are you okay? Listen to your nerves. They tell you very clearly what state you're in. And so in the beginning, that sitting still thing is crucial. It's very important. One, because it is a very clear sign of not running away, not escaping. A willingness to be here and face what is. Instead of wiggling around trying to get out of yourself. You stay put, you stay calm. There's also, as I always say, where you can tell whether someone is actually good at meditation or not. Their body gives them away. Their nerves gives them away. There's a whole lot of people that talk big talk. I've been doing meditation for 10 years. I'm a meditation master even. Then you see them sit. There's a lot of wiggling going on. Isn't that obvious? I mean, like, they are not comfortable in their own skin. That's what this means. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You're not comfortable with yourself. Period. Meditation should lead to a very clear skill that is measurable, that is detectable, that is something that can actually be shown. That happens in the body first. Forget all the high-minded stuff. Start with the basics. If the basics are not in place, the high-minded stuff talk is just high-minded stuff talk. There's a whole lot of people talking high-minded talk online and so on. My goodness. All the talk about presence and this and that. The body would show where the skill is. Are you actually present? Are you actually here? Are you actually okay with yourself? Your body will tell you very accurately. So keep it simple in that regard. Start with that simplicity. Don't lose yourself in books. Don't lose yourself in endless videos and retreats and this program and that program, going from center to center, from teacher to teacher, from ideology to ideology, because it doesn't serve you. None of the founders of the religion, say Buddhism, for example, the Buddha, they had any books, but they had this kind of drive to go and find out. They wanted to know, who am I? What is the truth? How can I end suffering? Can I end it? What is suffering? What is stress? I want to understand it. And how do you find that out? If you really, let's say you really want to find out who you are, what do you need to do? Can you find that in a book? Who you are? Does a book tell you who you are? Does a teacher tell you, a charismatic teacher with a big fancy hat, tell you who you are? I doubt it. At best, a teacher points you to that desire of yours to find out something. You're all here for a reason, right? You all look for something. And I'm not in any position to tell you what that is. You need to know that. What are you looking for, actually? Keep asking. Your mind comes up with an answer. For example, I want to be a bit more peaceful and so on. Why? Why do you want to be more peaceful? Why not just take a nap? You'll be more peaceful when you take a nap. Take a drug, you'll be probably more peaceful. Some sleeping medication or something. You'll be pretty peaceful. Drink a lot of chamomile tea. A lot of it. Is that what you're looking for? Kind of like a numbness or something like that? What is peace? What do you mean by that? How would that look like in your life? How would that feel like in your body? What would that imply? I'm at peace. What does this imply? Are you looking to improve your life? Do you want to be in control? Do you want to manage? Cope? Distract? Using meditation as a tool to avoid responsibility, perhaps. where I can just sit peacefully present and I can feel good about myself doing it, while at the same time really ignoring really important things that I need to take care of, such as my family or something like that. I need to look after my parents or my kids. But instead I can dwell in these high-minded enlightenment ideas and conveniently escape. It's not uncommon. You need to know, is what I'm saying. You need to understand why you're here. What are you really looking for? What's driving you? That's where it all starts. And then when you say words such as "I want to be at peace," ask yourself what that precisely is. And then don't wiggle around the topic. Stay on target until you actually have a clear definition of what peace really is and what that implies. Again, very rare. We don't want to be precise. The mind doesn't want to be precise because then it's uncovered, unveiled, as being pretty incompetent in most cases. It doesn't actually know what it's talking about. It's just regurgitating stuff that it's heard before, like a recorder, like a recording device. There's no original content up there. And it's kind of juggling around what's up there, using fancy words and things and half-assed understanding of things that I've heard before. It's more convenient to be imprecise. It's more convenient to wiggle around and move and escape. So when you're doing actual meditation practice, that's why the very first instruction is usually stop moving. Stop running away. Face it. Then what do you discover as the very first truth? Undeniable. I'm uncomfortable. I'm stressed. It's the very first thing that you'll discover. There is stress. There is suffering. And all the mental intentions that form, they are actually supposed to get you out of that. You want to manage. You want to cope. But you can't. You have to sit still, especially when we're practicing in a group like this, or when you're practicing with your teacher or something like this. You just cannot move. That's one of the benefits of group practice, because it kind of holds you to a standard that you would, if you're being by yourself, probably not really uphold. If you're in your own room doing your own kind of meditation, you can just comfortably move around. No one's looking at you. It's fine. But if you're here in a group, you're much more on guard. There's a thing when I was at the monastery, they have the rooms are separated by very thin walls, super thin. You don't have any privacy. And that is by design. In a monastery, you shouldn't have any privacy. Why? As soon as you get into your room and you have privacy, close the door behind you, you go, now I can just do whatever I want. No one sees me. That's kind of nice. But if you constantly know that your teacher is next door, they hear your every move, they know exactly what you're doing, you're much more on guard. You're much more mindful and alert. I'm not saying that this is the ideal state to remain in at all times, because obviously you're afraid of what other people are thinking of you. But in the beginning, it's excellent because it really holds you to a higher standard than you would hold yourself to. If your teacher is looking at you and you respect that person, you don't want to mess up. You're adopting a standard of someone that's above you in terms of skill and attainment. That's amazing. You can do that. We cannot really do this for ourselves in the beginning because we don't have that program running yet. And again, it's that simplicity of the group, that simplicity of just being with people of skill. And you will gradually begin to adopt that. Being on your own, not simple. Because as I said, the mind lies all the time, and it will always lead you to what's convenient and what's your preference. You will follow your preferences all the time. If you follow your mind, it really means you're following your preferences.
But we're not here to follow our mind, because the mind is deceptive. It will not lead you to happiness. It will not lead you to an end of stress. It will keep you in prison. That's the job of your mind. It will keep you with what you already know. It will make sure that you don't go beyond that. Because going into the unknown is threatening. It's a risk, it's a danger. It's even an evolutionary trait. You don't want to just, for no reason, go into the unknown and put yourself at risk. Like sitting still, it's risky. It's not easy. It's much more easy to do the known, which is like wiggle around, fidgeting, trying to get away from yourself. So in the beginning, really just keep it super simple. Learn how to sit still. Start there. Do that until you can do it for an hour. You can sit perfectly still, good posture, 1 hour. No moving. Like people want to confuse you like a statue. They don't know if, are you real or are you made of wax or something like that. That'd be pretty good. Hardly any breath even. You become so still that the mind has to follow suit. Has to follow the body. It's like, if I want to make the water in the bottle still, then I put the bottle onto a still ground, and the water follows. If I constantly move it, the water will constantly move. Same with your body and mind. If you're constantly moving around in your body, then the mind cannot become still. It's impossible. I say that again, it's impossible to get the mind to come to stillness if you're constantly following your preferences, moving all the time, escaping all the time. It's impossible. There's no secret, tricky way that somehow gets you around that. Like, can I reach peace and be comfortable? No. Impossible. Peace is a state that is beyond comfort and discomfort. Peace doesn't care anymore whether the body is comfortable or uncomfortable. It's peaceful. It's at ease. No matter what happens to the body. If you're at peace, period. If you're happy, you're happy. Not like, I'm happy because the weather is nice. I'm happy because the beach is beautiful. I'm happy because I enjoy lovely company or something like that. No, I'm happy, period. Regardless of circumstances, regardless of past or future or whatever happens. If you're happy, you're happy. And what is happiness? Being beyond suffering. It is the absence of stress. Now, how do you get to an absence of stress? How do you actually experience the absence of stress? Only through stress. You'd have to know and understand the mechanics of stress. So you understand that stress is not something that's happening to you, it's something that you're doing. Like holding tension in your body, right? Right now, pay attention to your body. Is there any place in your body that you notice that is unnecessarily tense? Shoulders, forehead, heart, belly. As soon as you notice, you might go, right? Oh, I've been holding tension in my shoulders for the past 10 minutes or what? I didn't even notice. There you go. Noticing it is first step. You notice the tension, and as you notice, something magical happens. It's enough to see it. As you see it, you let it go. What happened before that was a subconscious kind of doing, a protecting, a keeping yourself together, being on guard. And as you notice, that kind of just falls away. You're a bit more at ease now. In the body. Again, no high-minded stuff. Keep it simple. Work with your body. It's the first basis. Forget emptiness and not self and what is the divine nature, what is the soul. Forget it. Your body is the house of your soul. It's more than enough. It's the gateway to it. Your body is the gateway into your being. It's what you can work with. Well, I don't need to know how the soul actually looks like, what it really is. It is enough to come fully into your being, into your life, into your presence. And then take it from there and you go deeper and deeper. A good friend of mine, he always says that, right? It's the path is an inch wide and a mile deep. There's nothing much we need to do. A single instruction can be totally enough, such as relax. Now, if you were to take that to heart, and you would make this your sadhana, your training, your spiritual path, is that one word, relax. And that's the thing that you practice for the rest of your life. And you have a clear understanding what relax really means. Regardless of circumstance, relax. Doesn't mean find yourself a comfy sofa, lie down, and relax. It's not that obviously, yeah? Grab a cocktail, relax. But it's a training to release tension all the time that is unnecessary. Start there. Sitting in your car, traffic light, waiting. Oh, when does it get green? All of a sudden you notice, wow, I'm like grabbing the steering wheel and my shoulders are up here and I'm like, really like I'm pressed together. Everything is tight inside. You notice, relax right there. You're not letting go of the steering wheel. You're not like collapsing in your car, like melting. That's not relaxation again. You want to relax within a structure. Like when you sit in meditation, you sit in a structure, and inside of that you relax. Wrong relaxation would be collapsing. Wrong relaxation. Correct relaxation is within that structure, relax. It's not only the body. That structure could be a moral framework that you hold yourself to. Do not lie, no matter what. And inside of that moral framework, you relax. You got caught. You cannot lie. That's your structure. Now relax. Speak the truth and take the hit. And relax. After all, you're in that position because of yourself. You got yourself into that position. So relax. Uphold the truth and relax. Even if it costs you, relax. Because you can be confident you're doing the right thing. Another moral framework, be kind. So no matter what, you got to be kind and relax. Be generous with your time, your resources, your energy. Like the practice, for example, of Mother Teresa. Let's keep her as an example because she has given so much help. She's given her life, her resources, her times to help. It's pretty amazing. That in itself is a practice, isn't it? Because you have to put up with so much difficulty. And inside of that, you let go of your ego, you let go of yourself, so that there is only room for God, nothing else. Amazing. It's very simple, deceptively simple, but extremely efficient if you just do it a lot. What was it, Bruce Lee, I think he said? I don't fear a man that has practiced 10,000 punches, but I fear the man that has practiced one punch 10,000 times. You practice one punch 10,000 times, you're pretty damn good at this punch. And I mean, if that one hits, it's going to be devastating. The same goes for your presence or whatever you practice. Relaxation, the first stage of the path. You can take it vertically. Every single aspect of the meditation practice can be taken vertically. For example, relax, the first stage of the practice. Release tension, release tension, release tension. How far does that take you? How much tension could you release? And once your physical tension is completely released, what other kinds of tension are underneath that? Emotional tension, mental tension, intellectual tension, the tension of the will. Intention is tension. Craving. You can take this very deep all the way. The second is presence. Let go of your past and your future. Take only that as your path. Surrender your future and your past. Actually do that. Nothing else. So you're at the traffic light. You notice your mind is drifting off. It's going into a realm of thoughts, this and that. Come back. Come into the body again. Be right here. And you will quickly notice why the mind actually goes into the future or into the past. It's a perpetuation of suffering and stress. I'm not done yet. I'm incomplete. I'm not okay the way I am. Life is not okay the way it is. Therefore, I must constantly seek another thing, another place, another me. Endless. Unless you end it. And to end that, you have to be committed to ending it. You have to understand the benefits of ending it. Then you can end it. What about silence? Well, you can take that as the path. Simple. Just shut up. Completely. That'll save you tons of problems, guaranteed. That's one. Simple. Especially in the mind. Up here. There's not much harm in talking outwardly, but we can limit it to uplifting topics, for example. We don't talk about anything else. Not talking about other people, for example, ever. But you have a moral framework that holds you to silence. I will not ever talk about other people if they're not in my presence. That would make life much more simple too. My grandmother knew a guy and she always talked about him. He said, right, this guy, whenever we talked about someone else, he says, I'm sorry, I can't join your conversation. I'll talk about people who are not in the room. That impressed my grandmother. Impresses me too. I mean, it's a bit obnoxious, but I think it's cool that somebody really sticks to their rule like this. Obnoxious because it's like kind of pushing it onto other people too. It's like, I'm better than you guys. I'm not talking about anyone else. That kind of flavor comes a bit with that. But regardless, I think it's an awesome thing to do. Not talking about others when they're not there. Make that your practice for the rest of your life, and I guarantee you will just benefit from it. Maybe you can modify the rule. Unless it's good, don't talk about someone else. Unless you've got something good to say about them. And then keep the mind quiet. Keep it totally silent at all times. Imagine you're at the traffic light again, and there's absolutely zero talking going on up there. Nothing. Just crickets. You're just there at the traffic light and there's just nothing else. There's just this moment, just the way it is. No storyline, no commentary. The awesome thing with that is, if you manage to actually do that, if you manage to let go of the noise, happiness is right there. You stop losing energy. You start to fill up. That sense of fulfillment, of aliveness, comes out of silence. It comes out of stillness. It comes out of those qualities. This is where happiness is buried. It's buried underneath the noise. It's buried underneath our activities. It's buried underneath our escapes. If we were to stop all that, the happiness would reveal itself. It would just appear. You'd just notice it. All of a sudden you feel more alive, more creative maybe. There is more like just joy and happiness. The thing you felt and experienced more when you were younger perhaps. I mean, look at little kids. If they're not stuck with their phones, they're pretty alive, they're pretty happy and joyful, exuberant. They radiate a lot of freshness, a lot of life, a lot of soul as well that comes through that. So this is available to us, regardless of the physical age. That state is available to us, and it is accessed through silence, accessed through stillness. So what else? Concentration, that's another one. The mindfulness of breathing. You can then make that your path. You concentrate on the breath to the exclusion of all else until there's nothing else left other than the breathing. Then you can take that even more deeply. Many different variations of the path. You can go through those step by step, build up on the first, then enter the second, and so on. But my point for today is, whatever you choose as your training, keep it simple, practical, keep it real. Forget ideologies, philosophies, mental stuff, forget it. I actually recommend to really do work with your body in the beginning and do it a lot. I think all of you guys have some homework, if you take this to heart, to get to a point where you can sit still for an hour. Can you do that yet? If you cannot yet do that, work your way up to it. This is the foundation. Once you can do that, if you can already sit perfectly still for an hour, then begin to train the mind within that to remain present with what you are doing right now, then remain silent in that, and then come to the breath and stay with the breathing and so on. And let that deepen. Now you have a vessel, your body perfectly still. Now you can actually let go of your body. You can go deeper and experience what you really are, which is beyond the body, beyond the intellect, the psychology. You have a good foundation now. So this is my recommendation. Keep it very simple. Learn to sit still. Do this until you can sit still for an hour and you're comfortable in it. That means you have your first attainment. You're already somewhat comfortable in your own skin. That's the perfect base to start from. That's all that comes to mind for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode and had a meaningful time. For more information and upcoming events, head over to our website at phuket-meditation.com. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful day.